What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt Taville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Jermaine Franklin. Get this. Jermaine Franklin dominates and stops long-faded Devin Vargas. The 989 assassin came to the 313 and got a KO in 6. Returning to the ring after 10 months off, heavyweight Jermaine Franklin knocked down 2004 U.S. Olympian Devin Vargas twice and forced the corner to surrender atop a DAZN stream Big Time Boxing USA card from Detroit Thursday night. Okay, it was the 30-year-old fringe contender Franklin's second straight win since consecutive competitive losses to Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua, and it was Vargas's fifth straight defeat. The 42-year-old Vargas has gone 5-11 since 17-0 start to his career, failing to 22-11, 9 KOs. Wow. After a fight whose outcome was largely preordained. Okay. Franklin promised a KO, and that's exactly what he did. Franklin now is 23-2-15, and now he wants bigger opponents. And this is what he had to say. He said, quote, "I feel like I made the fight harder than it needed to be," Franklin said afterwards. "I'm not going to lie. Once I landed the first power punch, I just got happy. I couldn't calm down. I got outside of my game plan." Okay. But he got the job done, and let me counterpunch. I've liked Franklin ever since I seen him fight Dillian Whyte. Even though Dillian Whyte, that was a comeback fight for him. I think Dillian Whyte pretty much handpicked Jermaine Franklin because nobody knew who the hell Jermaine Franklin was. And quite frankly, a lot of people was pissed, and Dillian Whyte's stock dropped because of it. Because we were like, okay, you don't want to fight guys like Charles Martin, that's known, that's a former IBF champion. I don't care for how long. He was a champion once upon a time. And you don't want to fight guys like that, but you want to pick a no-name. But the irony of that is, I'm glad he picked that no-name, because that no-name turned into somebody that we do know his name. And his name is Jermaine Franklin. And he did hurt and rock Dillian Whyte in that fight and gave him a good fight. In fact, he gave him such a good fight, Anthony Joshua decided to fight Jermaine Franklin next instead of Dillian Whyte, and Dillian was pissed, right? Bars. And I think it was a good fight. I think just Joshua was too tall. The jab was coming. Joshua could have done more, but Jermaine Franklin showed his toughness, his grit. I think he fought three times last year, because he fought late last year. I think it was on the DAZN card, and he fought an undefeated guy. And, he took that O from him, which was a good fight. It was a competitive fight. And Franklin, his stars at the line. He changed his life with those two fights. Now he has 2 wins under his belt. He's looking for good fights next, more competitive fights. I would love to see him in there with someone like Derek Chisora, Joe Joyce, or maybe the winner or loser out of those fights, or those guys when they fight, because I think they fight, on the 27th of July, I believe. So I would love to see him tangle with those type of dudes, like a Carlos Takam, even if he's still around. But yeah, definitely he needs more exposure. Good guy, not an asshole, but then not he's not a hard puncher, but he punches hard enough. This is a heavyweight we're talking about, people, so don't get it twisted. Just because you don't have the reputation of knocking out people don't mean you can't. Okay, so I would like to see him in there. But speaking of Charles Martin, how about a Charles Martin fight? USA, let's go. Jarrell Miller, that would be a good fight. Or the winner between Jarrell Miller and Andy Ruiz would be a great fight. So there's a lot of possibilities for Jermaine Franklin. Okay, Jermaine Franklin could do and have a lot of good fights and make a lot of money at the same damn time. And I'm so glad he got that AJ money and that Dillian Whyte money on top of some more DAZN money. So he's doing good. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, shout out to Jermaine Franklin for getting the KO in the 313. You guys tell me what you think of Jermaine Franklin back in action. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!